Hi, everybody. I'm Morey, and I'm here with my co-host Ben from the Ben Morey Show here in town. We're here at the 48th Annual Nashville Film Festival, and we're here with the creators of documentary The Gateway Bug. Could you guys introduce yourselves and what your role in the film is, and maybe give us a brief synopsis? Very interesting documentary.
Hi, my name is Joanna B. Kelly. I'm the director and co-creator with Cameron here. We both wrote and produced the film. It's basically about global food security and the edible insect industry.
I'm Cameron Marshad. I am the co-creator, shooter, editor, co-writer. We basically did everything ourselves.
I'm Ben Odo. I'm not an insect eater, but I might be after this interview. First thing I want to say is, Cameron, wonderful dress.
Thank you. Yes.
This was not planned.
Or was it? Probably shouldn't have sat next to each other. Well, maybe, yeah, I don't know.
I've always wanted a brother, and it's so great that you're here. Guys, you're joining us in town from New York. Let me just ask something right off the bat. I come to your apartment in Bed-Stuy. You've invited me, and I say, what you cooking? Are you eating chicken? Are we having salad? Or are we eating insects?
We're unlikely eating insects. Maybe we eat, well, Jo can't eat them because she's allergic to shellfish, unfortunately. And a lot of the properties of insects are close to shellfish. So Jo avoids them. But I eat them maybe once a month, twice a month, usually as like a snack if I'm on my computer. You know, I eat them like nuts or chips, so I replace them with snacks. I normally don't replace them with proteins like tofu and chicken and that kind of thing. Yeah.
So this is not some, hey, we're adventurous eaters and come see our documentary. There's a direct correlation between poor agricultural practices and your guys is wanting to push the insect industry. Is that correct? And if so, can you explain to us that correlation?
Sure. I mean, I'm definitely an adventurous eater, and before we started shooting the film, I actually ordered a pound of crickets online and wanted to cook with them. So that definitely, I think that helped us maybe get into the film even more so, or at least myself, get involved into the film. But Jo, maybe you want to talk about some of the sustainability aspects of crickets and other insects.
Yeah, sure. For me, it was really a concern about the environment. When we first learned about the edible insect industry, it was with one of the main characters of our documentary, Tyler Isaac, and he was doing an eco-entrepreneurship program at UCSB in Santa Barbara. And we were just having brunch with him one day, and he mentioned that basically climate change and global warming were really, really strongly negatively impacted by current industrial practices, particularly meat. So through the creation of red meat, you know, cows take up a lot of space, they take up a lot of land, water, and resources. For example, 90% of Amazon deforestation is a result of growing corn and soy to feed to cattle. So if we want to look at addressing those sorts of issues, we really need to start talking about diet. So if you came to our house, you probably wouldn't get red meat. We really have that as only at special events now that we know the destruction that it's for. And we try to encourage, as part of our film story, people to reduce their reliance on these resource-intensive meats and look a little further afield to things like crickets and mealworms and that sort of thing. But it's not just about feeding humans either. We feed a lot of other things. Everybody feeds their pets a lot of pet food, and one of the primary ingredients in pet food is fish. Fish currently are completely overfished in our oceans and really headed for extinction really quickly. And so if we could replace that fish in our dog food, for example, with insects, then we'd really be doing a lot to improve climate change. And it's so simple, you know, a dog's not really going to turn his nose up at insects. He's eating them all the time anyway. And same for things like chicken and fish that we eat too. So right now we feed, for example, factory farm chickens, we feed them a lot of corn and soy, which makes them kind of sick. They can't digest it that well, and so we're feeding them antibiotics. So it's also, it's just really, there's a plethora of things that insects can help with.
So you during this filming, I would imagine you talked to a lot of people in the edible insect industry. What does that industry look like? I mean, are there some pretty sustainable businesses out there in the edible insect industry? I know you have some bars here. Yeah, like neckties. Yeah, or are they like barefoot farmers? Is all you said?
How crunchy are they?
Right, how crunchy?
I'll get this.
Oh, you want to get? Okay, okay.
I think they're going in order.
So we met a lot of different folks in the edible insect industry, from cricket farmers to product producers. So we met these guys who make dry roasted crickets, those guys, Exoprotein, who take these dry roasted crickets, grind them up, and put them into protein bars as a replacement for like whey protein and soy protein. So these guys are varying throughout the country. We met some in San Francisco and Youngstown, Ohio, and you'll have to see the film to see how those businesses progressed.
The documentary is called "The Gateway Bug." Is that to suggest that if Morey or myself were to try some of these bugs, that I would one day be dining on a fat beetle? Like, is that what the title suggests? Because I'll do it. I'm open to change.
Quite possibly.
Can I?
You want to try one?
May I smoke a bug, so to speak? That was inappropriate.
That joke, let's just say that has been made before.
So what do we got here, Cameron? We have
chili lime crickets brought to you by Entimo Farms. We went up to Canada and we interviewed these guys, and they've been really nice, providing us with insects during our film festival tour. Yeah. So
and how much is a bag?
A bag varies. So like this, I think, is probably around $25. Yeah.
Eat it. Eat the bug.
So let's try the bugs, and we also have artistic director of the film festival, Brian Owens, here, who is dying to eat a bug. So we can all eat one together. Oh, you got to get a handful. Yeah, we'll eat it at the same time, like it's we're taking a shot or something. Terrible here. That's good. That's plenty. All right, guys. Well, here's to it. 1, 2, 3. Bottoms up. Not bad. It's important to ignore that it's a cricket. It's crunchy and it's flavorful. You heard it here first. Brian, would you eat it again?
I would definitely do it again.
There you go. Thanks, Brian.
Not dissimilar to, thank the Lord for the flavor, because if I took 1 second to think, I'm munching on crickets, it wouldn't be so much of a gateway bug for me. I think I would be I'd be at Burger King across the street. But
see why I eat them at my desk on my computer as like a chip or a nut replacement, right?
Oh, I can.
It's like Pringles almost.
Any health benefits?
Yes, they have lots of protein, so they're around 65% protein, tons of iron, all the amino acids, omegas 3, 6, and 9, I believe. Iron, as I said before, lots of calcium, very, very high in B12, which is interesting because B12 is a nutrient that a lot of people are missing, especially vegetarians, which is interesting. But yeah.
Well, guys, I'm being told that we are just about out of time, but real quick, where or when can people come see your film?
So tonight we're screening at 8 p.m. Tomorrow we're screening at 3 in the afternoon. After Nashville Film Festival, we go to Bentonville Film Festival. So that's another place people can see it, and it should be released towards the end of this year.
Do you have a website?
We do, thegatewaybug.com. We also have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
For those who can't make it to the screening tonight or tomorrow, websites or pieces of literature that you would recommend. That's right, I said pieces of literature that would educate people on the edible insect industry.
On our website, we have a page called Our Friends, and it basically includes links to a number of the people who we interviewed and met throughout the process of making the film. So we highly recommend you check out that page, and also doing your own research on entomophagy, which is the term that we use for eating insects.
Well, folks, this was nothing like Pixar's A Bug's Life. But it was fun nevertheless. Cameron, Johanna, a gateway bug, educational film, a lot to learn. It was tasty, and this was fun.
Thank you so much for having us. Thank you.
We're done.